Henri Cartier-Bresson is one of street photography's earliest and most famous pioneers, and today we're going to break down one of his most iconic works, Seville, Spain from 1933, and why I think it's such a damn good photo. Three things that stand out to me that make it a good photo, a great photo actually, a famous photo is 1, framing, 2, the layering, and 3, the contrast. So the first thing with framing, the obvious frame of the wall. This wall looks like it got blown out from an explosion. The content of the wall itself is interesting, and then the way it frames all the characters together is visually strong. Even the one kid on the bottom right that's not framed by the wall, he still is framed by the negative space of the wall. So you can see like he's put nicely in this space. The second thing is layers. So many things happening in this photo from front to back. At the front, you have this kid looking down, and as you keep going, you have these kids all looking at the camera, and they look all serious and kind of in shock or thinking or contemplative in a way. And then you have this kid on the wall who's playing and making like a goofy face. And then beyond that, you have more kids that are just chilling in this space like they're used to it. And then you have a second kid further down the back that's throwing a rock and playing again. So many characters in the scene, so many things happening. And the third thing that makes this such a great photo to me is contrast. I'm not talking about visual contrast, visual style contrast, but I'm talking about content wise. You have these kids playing compared to these other kids that are serious. Then you have contrast with shapes. You have the jagged walls and rubble that obviously looks like they've been blasted from battle or some type of explosion. And then you have young kids in this setting. This already is telling a story of kids in some type of war context. And then there's contrast with the kids themselves. If you look at the kids' faces, like it looks like they've gone through some shit. They feel way too mature for their age, like they've seen too much. I get that feeling from looking at the kid from the bottom left, the one above him, the one right next to him, and even a little bit from this kid in the back. I mean, they're kids, but man, they look like they've seen too much, and even that is a story in itself. Like we can only imagine what they've seen before and what's to come. I mean, that's pretty much it. The framing, the layering, the contrast, they all come together to tell such a powerful story in a single image. Obviously, I don't think photos need to be that. They don't need to stand by themselves. They can be a body of work looked at together, but this photo in particular, famous photo, just wanted to break it down. You know, as a bonus, was Cartier-Bresson thinking the same thing? I doubt it. I think he recognized the moment he was in, the people, the location, and took shots with the frame as the focal point. We can take a quick look at his contact sheet, and if you want to know what contact sheets are, I've made a quick intro video about it, so check that out if you want. So yeah, let's take a quick look at the contact sheet and maybe find out what he was thinking as he went through his roll. To me, going from left to right from a quick glance, the first, second, third, fourth, and ninth photos stand out immediately. 2 is a less interesting version of 4. 3 stands out to me for what the person of focus is doing. It's the boy in the hat doing that pose. And then in 9, it's the boy in the crutches doing something interesting. Like it looks like he's kind of like confident or doing some type of like cocky pose that's just on a very surface level, just from glancing at a group of 16 images at once, just kind of like really quickly what is popping out from the page. But the problem with 9 is that I think the frame of the wall is cut off significantly. And so I really think the visual impact of the frame is what guided Croissant to stick with 1 and 4. With 4, there are just so many interesting faces your attention bounces between that it's not a problem because it's all packed nicely within this frame compared to 2 and 3. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed my breakdown of this famous photo. As it is in the photography and the arts, there are no right or wrongs. It's just what I think. And if you've got any different spices to add to the mix, or see something differently, or see something that I missed, drop a comment, because I don't know it all and I would just like to know what you think. So that's it. Thanks for watching, and see you in whatever comes next.